All right. So, um, have you ever noticed how many programmers love to complain about their tools?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Like it's almost a rite of passage to whine about Python being slow or...
Yeah, where the Django can't scale.
Exactly. You always hear these complaints. But what if I told you that it's not the tools themselves?
I'm intrigued.
What if it's actually the programmer's skill holding them back?
Okay, now that's an interesting take.
So for today's deep dive, we're going to be looking at this fascinating article
Oh, yeah, I was reading that this morning.
from the Coding Cags website, that Persian tech site.
Yeah, they always have those thought-provoking pieces.
This one is called Skill Gap in the World of Code. And it basically says that maybe those perceived limitations,
Right, the ones we always complain about.
yeah, those might actually be reflections of our own skill gaps.
So instead of blaming Python for being slow, maybe we should be looking in the mirror.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to be exploring today.
Yeah.
So get ready to challenge some of those preconceived notions.
I'm ready to have my mind blown.
So this article jumps right into the Python is slow argument.
Yeah, that's like the poster child for programming complaints.
Right. But the article points out that even though Python might not be inherently as fast as, say, C++,
True Sun Plus is definitely known for its speed.
experienced Python developers can still achieve some impressive speeds.
Oh, absolutely. There are so many optimization techniques.
Like what kinds of things?
Well, for example, they can use Python to compile performance-critical code.
Python, I haven't used that in a while.
Yeah, it's really powerful. Or they can leverage libraries like NumPy.
Right. NumPy is great for numerical stuff.
Yeah, it's optimized for those kinds of operations.
Yeah.
So basically, Python itself isn't incapable of speed.
It's more about knowing how to use it to its full potential.
It's like having a sports car but not knowing how to drive stick shift.
Perfect analogy. So it's not the car's fault, you're going slow.
You gotta know how to handle the machine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, what about languages like Haskell or Rust?
Oh, the ones that are considered more difficult.
Right, those ones. Some people argue that the learning curve itself is a limitation.
Yeah, I can see how people would say that.
But this article has a different take.
Oh, really? What do they say?
Well, they suggest that these so-called difficult languages can actually be gateways
You can't waste to what?
to deeper programming concepts.
That's interesting. I never thought of it that way.
So, for instance, mastering monads in Haskell.
Okay, now that's a concept that always tripped me up.
Yeah, it's pretty challenging. But the article says that it can deepen your understanding of functional programming.
Which can then be applied to other languages.
Exactly, even if you never use Haskell professionally.
So it's like learning Latin to help you understand other Romance languages.
That's a great way to put it. So instead of seeing these languages as obstacles,
We should see them as opportunities for growth.
right, it's about pushing your boundaries and expanding your horizons.
I like that it's a more positive way to look at it.
Okay, now let's get practical for a moment.
Sure, let's talk real-world applications.
A lot of people love Python for rapid prototyping.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's so easy to get up and running.
In those cases, wouldn't you say that speed of development trumps the need for optimization?
Well, that's the common perception.
Yeah.
But the article makes a bold claim.
Okay, I'm listening.
They say that even for rapid prototyping, a skilled Rust or C++ developer.
Really? Those languages are known for being more complex.
Right, but they're saying that a skilled developer in those languages could actually achieve similar or even faster development speeds.
Than a Python developer.
Yeah, it sounds counterintuitive, but their argument is that deep understanding of a language and its ecosystem.
Leads to more efficient coding from the get-go.
Right, it's like knowing the shortcuts and back alleys of a city,
So you can get to your destination faster.
even if it's a more complex route overall.
So the takeaway here is that it's not always about choosing the easiest language
It's about mastering the right tool for the job.
and having the skills to use that tool to its full potential.
Absolutely, regardless of its perceived limitations.
This is all making a lot of sense.
I'm glad it's resonating with you.
But let's get a little more specific. How do we actually address these skill gaps?
Ah, that's where the article gets really interesting. They lay out what
So
they...
far, what do you guess? The 4 pillars of skill development.
You got it. You've been reading ahead.
Maybe I have a little. Okay, I'm hooked. Tell me about these pillars. What's the first one?
The first and most fundamental pillar is continuous learning.
Okay, that one's a no-brainer. I think everyone agrees on that.
Right. But the article goes beyond just saying keep learning.
What do they say then?
They emphasize the importance of viewing learning as an investment.
So not just chasing the latest shiny new thing.
Exactly. It's about being strategic with your choices.
So instead of trying to learn everything.
You focus on building a solid foundation of knowledge that will benefit you in the long run.
I like that it's about being intentional with your learning.
Right, and not just following the hype blindly.
Okay, so what's the second pillar?
Pillar number 2 is all about deep dives.
Deep dives. So
Yeah.
we're going beyond just scratching the surface.
Exactly. It's about truly immersing yourself in a language or framework.
To master its nuances and capabilities.
Precisely. It's the difference between reading a travel brochure and actually living in a foreign country.
Ah, I see. So you can get a basic understanding from a surface level overview.
But true fluency comes from immersion and experience.
So we're talking about going beyond tutorials and actually building projects.
Yes. And experimenting with different approaches, maybe even breaking a few things along the way.
Breaking things is part of the fun, right?
Absolutely. Mistakes are an essential part of the learning process.
Okay, I'm on board with that. So how do these first two pillars tie into the third one?
Which was about identifying skill gaps.
Yeah, how do we make sure we're building on the right foundation?
Well, this is where self-awareness comes in.
Easier said than done sometimes.
True, but it's crucial for growth. It's
Yeah.
about honestly assessing your strengths and weaknesses as a programmer.
Okay, so no more pretending we're experts at everything.
Right. It's about recognizing where we need to improve.
And how do we actually go about identifying those gaps?
The article has some great practical tips for that. One is to look at those you admire in the field.
Oh, so finding mentors or role models.
Exactly. Identify the qualities that make them stand out. What skills do they have that you lack?
So it's not about comparing yourself in a negative way.
Right. It's about using their expertise as a guide for your own development.
Okay, I like that. It's about setting realistic goals based on the examples of others.
Another strategy they highlight is seeking feedback from others.
Oh, asking for constructive criticism.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to ask your colleagues or mentors for their honest opinions,
Even if it stings a little.
even if it stings. But remember, feedback is a gift. It helps you grow.
Okay, so we've got continuous learning deep dives and identifying skill gaps. What's the final piece of this puzzle?
The fourth and final pillar is all about diversifying your skill set.
Wait, so you're telling me that just learning Python isn't enough?
Well, Python is a great language,
Don't get me wrong, I love Python.
but the article argues that limiting yourself to just one tool is like trying to paint a masterpiece with only one brush.
Ah, I see. So we need more colors on our palette.
Exactly. By learning multiple languages, you gain a broader perspective.
And enhance your adaptability.
Precisely. It's like the tech industry is a constantly changing landscape.
With new languages and frameworks popping up all the time.
Exactly. So by diversifying your skills, you're future-proofing yourself.
I think a lot of programmers specialize too early in their careers.
I agree. They become experts in one area, but then struggle to adapt when new technologies emerge.
So how do we avoid that trap?
The article suggests viewing your career as a marathon, not a sprint.
So it's about pacing yourself and constantly evolving.
Exactly. It's about constantly learning new skills and staying ahead of the curve.
So how do we go about diversifying our skill set effectively?
One way is to identify the gaps in your existing toolkit.
So if you're mainly a front-end developer,
Maybe learning a back-end language would be beneficial.
makes sense. It's about strategically choosing languages that complement your existing skills.
Another approach is to simply explore something outside your comfort zone.
Oh, like that new language everyone's talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best way to learn is to just dive in and see what happens.
That's the spirit of exploration. I love it.
And remember, you don't have to become an expert in every language you learn.
Just getting a basic understanding can be valuable.
It can broaden your perspective and help you see problems in new ways.
This has been such an insightful conversation so far.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I feel like we've just scratched the surface of these 4 pillars.
There's definitely a lot more to unpack.
So let's take a moment to let all of this sink in for our listeners.
And when we come back, we'll dive deeper into each of these areas.
And explore some practical strategies for putting them into action. Stay tuned.
So we were talking about those 4 pillars of skill development.
Yeah, those were really interesting.
Let's unpack them a bit further.
Sounds good. Where should we start?
Well, we touched on continuous learning, but I think it's worth diving deeper into what that actually looks like.
Yeah, especially in a field like programming where things are always changing.
Exactly. It's easy to feel like you're always playing catch-up.
So how do we keep learning effectively without getting overwhelmed?
Well, the article emphasizes the importance of viewing learning as an investment.
An investment. So it's not just about acquiring knowledge for the sake of it.
Right. It's about being strategic with your choices.
So instead of chasing every new trend,
You focus on building a solid foundation.
That will benefit you in the long run,
Exactly. It's about curating your learning journey.
to align with your aspirations.
Think about it this way. If you're passionate about building mobile apps,
Okay.
then investing time in mastering a cross-platform framework like React Native
Right.
might be more valuable than, say, delving into machine learning.
At least for now.
Exactly. It's about prioritizing based on your goals.
So once you've identified an area where you want to develop expertise,
That's where the deep dives come in.
yes, those deep dives. So we're talking about more than just skimming the surface.
Way more. It's about immersing yourself in the complexities of a language or a framework
It's like the difference between learning a few chords on a guitar.
and actually becoming a musician.
Right, so it's not just about memorizing syntax.
It's about understanding the underlying principles.
The design patterns, the trade-offs,
It's about writing code that's not just functional.
but also efficient and elegant.
Exactly.
So how do we approach those deep dives effectively?
Finding high-quality resources is important, of course,
Of course.
but the article stresses the importance of going beyond passive learning.
So no more just reading books or watching tutorials.
Right, you need to actively engage with the material.
So hands-on learning, building projects, experimenting,
Exactly.
and maybe even breaking a few things along the way.
Embrace the broken code. It's all part of the process,
I think a lot of people are afraid of making mistakes.
especially in programming, where there's this pressure to be perfect.
Right. But it sounds like the article is saying that mistakes are actually valuable.
Absolutely. There are opportunities to learn and grow.
It's like learning to ride a bike.
You're going to fall a few times before you find your balance.
But each fall is a lesson.
That helps you refine your technique.
So we need to shift from a perfectionist mindset to a growth mindset.
Exactly. Instead of seeing mistakes as failures,
We should see them as stepping stones.
I love that analogy.
Okay, so we've talked about continuous learning and deep dives,
How do we connect those to the third pillar?
identifying skill gaps.
Right. That's where self-awareness becomes crucial.
So being honest with ourselves about our strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It can be uncomfortable, but it's necessary for growth.
It's like going to the doctor for a checkup.
You might not always like what you hear
But that feedback is important.
for maintaining your health.
So how do we do these programming checkups on ourselves?
The article suggests looking at those you admire in the field.
Finding mentors or role models.
Exactly. What skills do they have that you lack?
What are their strengths?
Use their expertise as a guide for your own development.
So it's not about comparing yourself negatively.
Right. It's about setting realistic goals.
Based on the examples of others,
Another strategy is to actively seek feedback.
from colleagues or mentors,
Exactly. Don't be afraid to ask for their honest opinions.
even if it's tough to hear sometimes.
Feedback is a gift. It helps you grow.
Okay. I'm seeing how these first three pillars work together.
Continuous learning, deep dives, identifying skill gaps.
They all build on each other.
Now, how does the fourth pillar fit in?
Diversifying our skill set.
Right. That's all about expanding your horizons.
So it's not enough to just be a specialist in one area.
The article uses the analogy of a chef.
Oh, I like analogies.
If all you have is a chef's knife,
Okay.
you can do a lot. But what if you need to slice a tomato or carve a chicken?
You need a more specialized tool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Learning multiple languages is like adding those specialized tools to your toolkit.
So we're not abandoning our existing skills.
We're just expanding our options.
So instead of being a Python expert
You become a more versatile programmer.
who can adapt to different challenges,
Exactly.
I think a lot of programmers fall into the trap of specializing too early.
They become experts in one area, but then struggle to adapt.
So how do we avoid that?
View your career as a marathon, not a sprint.
So it's about pacing yourself and constantly evolving.
Exactly.
So how do we actually go about diversifying our skill set?
One way is to identify the gaps in your existing toolkit.
Okay.
If you're primarily a front-end developer,
Right.
maybe learning a back-end language would be beneficial.
Makes sense.
Another approach is to explore something outside your comfort zone.
Oh, something completely new.
Exactly. Sometimes the best way to learn is to just dive in.
I love that. It's about staying curious and exploring.
And remember, you don't have to become an expert in everything you learn.
Just a basic understanding can be valuable.
It can broaden your perspective.
These four pillars really paint a picture of what it means to be a well-rounded programmer.
It's a journey of continuous growth and adaptation.
But before we move on,
Sure.
I want to circle back to the fear of making mistakes.
Yes, that can be a big obstacle.
Any advice for overcoming that fear?
Remember that everyone makes mistakes.
Especially when learning something new.
Exactly.
So don't beat yourself up over it.
Instead, try to analyze what went wrong.
Figure out how to avoid it in the future.
Turn those oops moments into aha moments.
Yeah, like that.
The learning process is a journey.
Not a destination.
There will be bumps along the road.
But the important thing is to keep moving forward.
Keep learning.
Keep growing.
Exactly.
So, as we've been talking about all this skill development stuff,
Yep.
it makes me think about all those classic programmer complaints.
Oh, yeah, the ones we were talking about earlier.
Like Python is slow.
Right, that one always comes up.
But what if instead of blaming the language, we should be looking at our own skills?
It's easy to point fingers at the tools.
Right, we're all guilty of that sometimes.
But maybe we haven't fully explored the capabilities of what we're using.
It's like blaming your oven for a burnt cake.
When you didn't follow the recipe.
Exactly. This whole deep dive has been about empowering the programmer.
I like that. It's about taking ownership of our skill.
And recognizing that programming is all about problem solving.
And the best problem solvers are the ones who keep learning and growing.
So for our listeners out there who are feeling inspired,
Yeah, what's one thing they could do today?
to start leveling up their skills.
I'd say start by picking one area where you want to improve.
Okay, so one specific thing.
Maybe it's a language you've been wanting to learn.
Or a concept that's always tripped you up.
Even a soft skill, like communication, could work.
And then what?
Set a small, achievable goal for yourself.
So we're not talking about massive changes overnight,
No, just small steps.
like reading a chapter in a book,
or completing one online tutorial.
even just 15 minutes of practice.
The key is to build momentum.
And create that habit of continuous learning.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
all about consistency.
And don't forget to celebrate those small wins along the way.
Every little victory counts.
If anyone wants more resources,
Definitely check out the Coding CAG's website.
that article was a goldmine of information.
They've got articles, tutorials, even community forums.
So much good stuff over there.
It's a great place to connect with other programmers.
Well, that brings us to the end of another deep dive.
Time flies when you're having fun.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
From debunking myths to exploring those 4 pillars.
Hopefully everyone's feeling inspired to level up their skills.
Programming is a constantly evolving field.
So embrace the challenges, keep learning, and never stop growing.
That's the key to success in this industry.
And until next time, happy coding, everyone.